I hear that there is a hostile takeover underway for my YouTube channel. Olivia, I saw that. I'm sitting here getting ready, trying to prep myself, make myself look good and everything for the live stream and everything like that. And then what do I see? I see a charge is underway to take over my channel. Well, Olivia's army, I am ready. We are all ready to fight back. You will not take the channel. I am ready to defend my channel. Yes. Oh, there we go. Yes, I actually have a katana. I have a real katana. How is everybody doing tonight? Whoa, chat is going absolutely crazy. Let's see here. What's up? Good, looking good. Sam, hi, Sam. Hi, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? Whoa. Okay, the chat is going absolutely insane. All right, guys. Sorry, I have to go ahead and turn on the slow mode. All right, there we go. 30 seconds. I am a warrior. Defend his channel from Serial. I like it. All right, let me see. What did Olivia have to say tonight? We've got 5 from Sovereign Queen Olivia, if she thinks she's sovereign. Let's see. Welcome to Historic Travel's newest subsidiary, Olivia. Join us with our host, Sam. For now, Sam, no. Olivia is not in charge. Sovereign Olivia says, due to the takeover of Historic Travels, the Historic Travels has not been taken over, and Titanic did not V-break, and the coal fire had nothing to do with it. So no. Nice try, Olivia. This hostile takeover has failed. We are ready to defend the channel. How is everybody tonight? Whoa. Here we go. All right. We got our next super chat from Uncover the News. Welcome to the live stream. Video idea. What entertainment and activities did each class have on the Titanic? Interesting. So what type of entertainment options? Now, I know first and second class had the Titanic's band. I believe first and second class had access to the squash courts. I believe they both did. The first class had the smoking room. But now, as far as the third class was concerned, I believe they had to bring their own entertainment. Like that big party that they had downstairs in third class on the Sunday before the sinking. I believe that they brought their own instruments. Like third class didn't have a band. But great idea. And Cover the News. I'm going to put that on the list real quick. Entertainment options for each class on Titanic. Great idea and Cover the News. Entertainment for each of Titanic's class. Thank you, Uncovered News. Thank you for the 5, and thank you for the great video suggestion. That's awesome. Sovereign Queen Olivia, again, 10, not sovereign, okay. This week's Titanic passenger is, second class passenger Samuel and Hannah Abelson. They both came aboard at Cherbourg. Hannah survived in Lifeboat 10. Samuel died. His body never recovered. Very cool. I haven't heard of those people. Second class passengers Samuel and Hannah Abelson. They both came aboard Cherbourg. Hannah survived in Lifeboat and Samuel died. Wow. I've never heard of that story. That's sad that Samuel died, but I'm glad Hannah made it. But no, I've never heard of them. Thank you so much, Olivia. Thank you for the 10. I'm going to just call you Olivia. I'm not going to keep calling you Sovereign because you did not take over this channel, Olivia. Moosh 5, thank you so much. Hey, Sam, while I have yet to receive my gas station sunglasses, I'll still fight on your side. That's awesome. Mooch, thank you so much for that 5, man. Thank you. How is everybody tonight? How is everybody doing tonight? Let's see here. Titanic lover. Hey, Sam, video idea. You should look at all the bergs that claim to be the iceberg that sunk the Titanic. Look at the testimony and say which one you think sank the ship. Congrats on 70K. That's an interesting idea, although I'm not really sure how well. I mean, there's no way we can know for certain. There's just that one photograph that they said had some paint smeared on it, but even that photograph is debated. So I'm not really sure if that would even be possible to say for certainty which berg sunk it, because, there's tons of icebergs out there. So that'd be kind of a hard one to do. I appreciate the video idea, but that'd be kind of a hard topic to cover. Let's see. Black November 8, thank you so much. Congrats on giving the 70K subs. Thank you so much, man. In the TV show, Peaky Blinders, there's a brief scene of a ship that looks part Titanic and part Mauritania. Okay, Peaky Blinders. I'm not familiar with that show, but there's a ship that kind of looks like it's a combo of the Titanic and the Mauritania. That's cool. There was an old movie. I forget the movie, but it's got the name Marilyn Monroe. It's got Marilyn Monroe in it, and it looks like they're sailing on the Queen Mary, but the Queen Mary that they're on, it doesn't look quite right. It's a model that they use for the set, and they call it Queen Mary, but it looks like a combination of a couple other ships. I wish I could remember what that ship's name was. Or no, not the ship, the movie. I wish I could, but it was a Marilyn Monroe movie, but it was something like that. Black November, thank you for the 8, my friend. Taylor 5, thank you. In 2018, my older brother got to meet Robert Ballard at a Missouri State University along with 22 other people. That's really cool. I would love to meet Robert Ballard someday and shake his hand. That is super, super cool. Now, let's see. Robert Ballard, Ken Marshall, shoot, all those maritime historians. I'd like to talk to James Cameron, too. I'd love to meet all those guys. Taylor, thank you for the 5. We got 2 from Zelda. Thank you so much. At dawn, we ride to battle. We ride to battle. At dawn, we got this. We will protect the channel. I can already see that being memed like you wouldn't even believe. And yes, in case y'all are wondering, this is a real sharp katana. That is a real katana that I bought. Let's see here. You should do a what if scenario. On what, Paul? Titanic and Britannia Productions meme. I know that's definitely gonna be a meme. Maritime history. Hello, Sam. Hello, maritime history. A bit random, but was it cloudy at the same time of the sinking of the Lusitania? A bit random, but was it cloudy at the time of the sinking of the Lusitania? Does the book Dead Wake say anything about that? I don't think it was. Now, right before the Lusitania got torpedoed, they were in a fog. They were in a very, very thick fog. And then when the Lusitania came out of it, it looked like it was beautiful weather. So I can't say if or if not the sky was cloudy. I don't think the book Dead Wake specifies that. But I do know that right before the Lusitania got torpedoed, the ship was in a very thick fog, came out of the fog, and then boom. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Hang on a second. I forgot something. Okay, got it. I always forget one thing. Got it. Thank you. Awesome, Maritime. Glad I could help. Hux 5, thank you so much. Good evening, Sam. Good evening, Hux. I have a question. Where do you think most of the Olympic is today, as it was scrapped? I can't place the hotels. I cannot remember the hotel, but I believe it's the first class dining room, or was it the first class lounge? But rooms from the Olympic are preserved, and they're in those hotels, and I forget where those hotels are. It's Ireland, England. It's somewhere right there. I cannot place the hotel. But a lot of those big rooms were preserved, and a lot of smaller stuff was sold off, Like the piece of decking that I got was inside of a factory for a while, if I remember correctly. I'd say fragments of the Olympic are scattered all over the place, with the biggest collections, being the preserved rooms that are in those hotels all around like the UK and stuff. That's where I think that most of it is, or most of the well-preserved sections are. Isn't there a staircase? I think there is. Millie, hi, Sam. Hey, Millie, I'm glad you're here. Hope things are well in Argentina. Duncan, can that katana? No. Okay, we got that one. We got that one. Got it. Okay. As it was scrapped. Cool. Mooch 5, thank you so much. Has Robert Ballard ever talked about the first time he got to actually explore Titanic? Has Robert ever talked about the time he actually got? So I'm assuming you're not talking about the time that he discovered the ship. I'm not really sure what they did after they first found it. I don't think they stuck around after they found it. I think they came back a little bit later. And if he did talk about it, no, I've never seen that. But one thing that he did say, and this was about the very first time that they found when they found the ship. Just use my model Titanic here. Okay, so pretend that this is the wreck. Okay, pretend that this is the wreck of the Titanic. Okay, and pretend that this is the small ROV that Robert Ballard was controlling. So what he said was that as this little ROV was on the seafloor and they were coming along, they did not approach the Titanic from the bow and see it come up. They actually came up on the ship on, was it the starboard or port side? I can't remember. But they came up on the ship's side. And then they said they were coming along, and then boom, they just saw the wall, like the wall or like a hull of the ship. They said there's like a big wall going up forever. Then when the ROV hit this point, they dropped the weights, and then the ROV began to go up to the surface. And they said as it went up, the lights were reflecting off of the Titanic's porthole windows as they were ascending and going past the ship. Then they passed the ship, and then the sub just kept going up. And what Robert Ballard said that reminded him of was he thought that the lights reflecting off the porthole windows and coming back and hitting the sub were like little eyes. Like the people that died on Titanic were looking at the sub from the ship's windows as it went up. He said it was super spooky. That's the only story I can think of. I don't know about anything that happened after that. Mooch, thank you for the 5. Let's see here. Olivia again. Thank you for all your super chats. All proceeds go to Captain They do not listen to the supposed sovereign Queen Olivia. She is a fraud. She is not. No. She did not take over the channel. These super chats do not go to Captain Casino Defense Fund, where the goal is he was not wrongly convicted. Olivia, you've been pretty chill on the trolling lately, but tonight you seem to be back with a vengeance. What's up with that? Thank you for the 5, Olivia. Taylor, 5, thank you. Funny fact, not a single one of the 23 people asked a Titanic question from what my brother told me. Really? They met Robert Ballard and they didn't ask him any Titanic questions? That's crazy. Taylor, thank you for the 5. Duke, go. Oh my gosh, here we go. Maritime fraud. Oh, these are funny. These are so funny. Let's see, got that one. 5 from Zoiby. Thank you for the 5. Recently found your channel, and I've been binge watching your videos. What is one thing you absolutely love and one thing that you, I'm guessing, hate about the 97 film? The one thing that I love is how James Cameron did everything he could to get everything around Jack and Rose as historically accurate as possible. You know, so I mean, the steam venting off from the Titanic's funnels, collapsible A and B falling off of the roof of the officers' quarters, the supposed or original belief where Thomas Andrews died in the first class smoking room. I mean, he did everything he could to get everything as factual as possible around Jack and Rose. It wasn't explained that well in the movie. If you weren't a Titanic historian, you most likely wouldn't notice all this stuff, even the party in third class. And one thing that I hate, it's kind of hard for me to say for certain. I'll just tell you this. I can't really say I hate it because it's a huge part of the movie. You know, I don't hate it, but I do think the love story between Jack and Rose is a little cheesy, but that's it. That's it. I mean, that's still the movie, and I love the 97 Titanic film, so don't take that lightly. You know, I mean, I don't hate them. I just think that the love story is just a little bit, I mean, they knew each other for what, 3-4 days. I'm like when Jack did his big confession to Rose, he's like, "You're the most wonderfully astounding, wonderful woman I ever know." I'm like, dude, you've known her like 3 days. Like, I always thought that was a little bit cheesy, but you know, that's a small thing. There really isn't anything that I hate about the James Cameron film. Does that make sense? Thank you for the super chat. Taylor 5, thank you. Also, my brother got his copy of the Titanic Adventure Out of Time signed by Rob. Okay, that is super cool. I really need to go back and play that game again. You know what? If I did go back and replay that game, would you guys like me to live stream that on my channel? I'm not a gaming channel, but that might be a fun thing to live stream. Would you guys like me to do that? Let me know in the chat. If I do replay that game, would you guys like me to live stream that? Okay, we got that one. Okay, we got a 20 from Kelly. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you for all the detailed history you share with everyone. I'm so fascinated by maritime history and love learning new things each time I watch one of your contents. Kelly, thank you for the 20, and thank you so much for your kind words. It really means a lot. Seriously, I wouldn't be here doing this without the support of people like you. So just, Kelly, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Let's see. Yes. Play it, Sam. Yes, live stream. Oh, gosh. I have not played Titanic Adventure Out of Time since I was a little kid, so I don't remember anything about it. So, like, let's just... Actually, I take that back. I do remember one thing. I remember the scene where there was a guy in the Titanic in the Turkish bath, and he was in that electric bath thing, and he got electrocuted in that thing. And then, like, you have to investigate if the bath was sabotaged or whatever. And I remember that traumatized me as a kid. Like, that scared me so bad. But you have to remember, I was crazy young, like maybe 7 or 8. Like, I mean, but like, that scared me to death. That's all I remember from that. That is all I remember from that game. And my mother's iceberg dream, because she helped me beat it. My mother helped me beat that game because I was too young to really get through it. And she had a nightmare the next night that we were on a boat that hit an iceberg. That was really funny. Okay, we got that one. We got that one. Okay. All right. Kelly, we got you. Tina, 10. Thank you so much. Hey, Sam, love your Titanic Heroes videos. Is there any point when they stopped working to save the ship and save themselves? So I guess you're referring to more like the officers up on the Titanic's deck always knew that, like, for the most part, that the ship wasn't going to make it. And I guess to properly answer your question, you'd be talking about the engineers, the firemen, everybody who was below decks trying to stop the flooding. And yeah, they knew, like, especially Bell. Joseph Bell was the chief engineer, and him and Thomas Andrews were talking about this. And he also was talking to Captain Smith. But Joseph Bell would have knew pretty early on that the ship couldn't be saved. And once they knew that, the whole situation went from saving Titanic to delaying her sinking. So, like, the men, so when boiler room 6, the Titanic's 5th watertight compartment was flooded, the ship was lost. There was nothing that they could do to save the ship. However, boiler room 5, which was the 6th watertight compartment, that was really the front line to where the men were really trying to hold back the water, because the longer they could keep the water from flooding boiler room 5, the longer the Titanic could stay afloat. And they did a pretty good job at keeping that room mostly dry. However, there was a tiny tear in the coal bunker of boiler room number 5, and the coal bunker wall wasn't designed to be watertight, and eventually the whole thing just exploded, or it caved in. I should say that, not exploded. But yeah, the wall, the coal bunker caved in, and water exploded into the room, and there was just nothing they could do. Because the ship was still sinking, even though boiler room 5 wasn't flooding, and it got to be too much water pressure, and it wasn't a watertight bulkhead, and that was it. But yeah, it was more that they were fighting to delay the sinking instead of saving it. Great question, by the way. Thank you for the super chat. David 20, thank you so much, my friend. Hello, Sam. Good to be here. Awesome. Glad you're here, David. I got the Titanic model today. I'll take a pic of it and put it in the Discord. They are very detailed. That's awesome, David. Be sure you DM it to me. I can't wait to see that. David, thank you for the 20, my friend. Oh, geez. Sam 2.0. Olivia, she is not Sam 2.0. Sam has a katana. I have... Wait, what's this? I have an angry... Chihuahua, who can't have any more treats for the night. Place your bets. So Sam with a katana versus a Chihuahua. Dun, 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 dun. Very nice, Olivia. Thank you for the 5. Olivia, it's Olivia, not Sam 2.0. Don't be fooled. It's not Sam 2.0. Don't be fooled. Zelda 5, thank you so much. Part of the 97 movie that I hate the most is the gates closing off third class. Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. I forgot about how they did that. So for those of you who don't know, third class they were never locked below decks. They were not. One of the big reasons why there was such a delay in third class getting up to the decks is, number one, they didn't know that part of the ship. And number two, they were deeper in the ship and it was hard to get them mobilized. The officers didn't really do a good job in managing the third class. It wasn't the fact that they were locked below decks, and they weren't familiar with that part of the ship. And many of them went to their own third class, like emergency stations, and they didn't go up to the boat deck because they didn't know that's where they were supposed to go. It was a lack of communication that really hindered the third class, not the fact that they were locked below decks. But yeah, you're right. That is a part of the movie that, I don't like that part of the movie either. I completely forgot about that. Thank you for mentioning that. That was kind of, now there were a few third class passengers who claimed that they were locked below decks. And if any of you have the Titanic book on a Sea of Glass, it does address this. Let me find the exact spot. Right here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a section for it right here, Trap Like Rats, where it talks about if the third class passengers were locked below decks. And according to the authors of On a Sea of Glass, based on all their research, they say that a few third-class passengers did say that they were trapped behind locked gates, but when they were asked to elaborate, they couldn't give specific examples. So while it does seem like maybe it happened, it wasn't purposeful. Maybe they weren't in the correct part of the ship to be sent up to the boat deck, and that gate just remained locked. It could be a situation like that, but we don't really know. And if there were any cases of it, it wasn't widespread. So that's as much as we know about that, but they definitely were not locked up and kept below like we see in the James Cameron film. Zelda, thank you for the 5. I completely forgot about that part. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, that's a part of the movie I would like to change. Taylor 5, thank you. Let's pretend Titanic had enough lifeboats for everybody on board. How much time do you think they would have needed to launch every single lifeboat? So that's a hard question to answer. I actually forgot this number. What was the maximum number of lifeboats? I'm Googling something real quick. Titanic could carry. I forget that. How many boats could she have had room for? She could carry, it says here, 40 lifeboats. Okay. So probably at least another 2 hours. But what you have to remember is the Titanic's lifeboat system, like the davits, they weren't built well to handle these type of they weren't meant to handle clusters and clusters of lifeboats. So if the Titanic would have had more lifeboats on board, they probably would have had to have all the lifeboats up on the roof of the officers' quarters and stuff like that. They would have been stacked all around the ship, similar to the way the Britannic had them. See how there was all these lifeboats all over the place? But the thing is, the Britannic could handle these lifeboats. The Titanic couldn't. because the Britannic had these electric crane davits. So in the 2 hours and 40 minutes it took the Titanic to sink, they got 18 of the 20 boats off the ship. But the reason they were able to do that is because the boats weren't in bad places, with the exception of collapsible A and B. And if they would have had 40 boats, they would have had more boats stacked on top of each other. They would have had to spend so much time moving the boats around just to get them to the davits and get them connected. It would have been a lot more work. So honestly, to get 40 lifeboats off the ship, I'd say they would need probably 4 to 5 hours. That's just a rough estimate. But yeah, I mean, they definitely couldn't have gotten all those boats off with the equipment they had on the ship in 2 hours and 40 minutes. They definitely couldn't. Great question, Taylor. Great question. Tangled 10, thank you so much. Hey, Sam, I fully recovered from COVID. Awesome! Woo! Everybody, wish Tangle a happy recovery. Tangle, that is awesome. You feel better, my friend. Thank you. Recovering, I'm doing better. Half the time I was in the hospital watching your videos and donating. Thanks so much, man. What if the Britannic beached itself against the beach? I'd say they would have saved her. So if the Britannic would have been able to beach itself, I'm sure that the team would have went out, patched the hull, done everything they needed to get the ship shape. And then, yeah, the Britannic would have headed back out to sea. That's honestly what I think would have happened, Tangled. Tangled, thank you for the 10. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad you're feeling better, my friend. Happy recovery. That's awesome, guys. Thank you so much for wishing Tangle a happy recovery. I'm glad you're doing better, my friend. And thank you so much for all the support. Moosh5, thank you so much. I've always told this, but I'm not sure. Wait, I was always told this, but I'm not sure. Was the circular hold ship at the very front of the bow of the Olympic class some type of air vent? I was always told this, but I'm not sure. Was that circular hold ship at the very front of the bow of the Olympic class some type of air vent? Moosh, I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. So wait, circular hold at the front of the, I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, are you talking about cargo hold, like the hatch number 1? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, Mooch. I honestly have no idea. If you could elaborate a little bit more, I can try to answer. But thank you for the 5, Mooch. Mooch 2, I meant circular hole, not hold. I really have no idea what you're talking about. Thanks, Mooch. Taylor 5, thank you. I feel like Pittman is the least mentioned of all the Titanic's officers. Chief Officer Henry, First Officer, Third Officer Pittman. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you say these names, and I have to think about who they are. So I have to go through the list of officers in my head. So let's see: Chief Officer Henry Wild, First Officer William Murdoch, Second Officer Charles Lightoller, Third Officer Pittman, Fourth Officer Boxhall, Fifth Officer Lowe, Sixth Officer Moody. Did I get those right? I think I got those right. Did I get all those right, guys? Let me know in the chat if I got all those right. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, Pittman really isn't mentioned that much. I mean, people talk about Lowe a lot more than Pittman. And they don't even talk about Henry Wild that much. Yeah, good point. I never really thought about that. I need to look into him a little bit more. Yes. Okay, cool. Sounded right to me. Awesome. Yes. Correct, Sam. Awesome. Thanks, guys. But yeah, you're right. They don't mention him all that much. I need to do some research into him. That'd be a good video topic. Here is a Titanic Pittman, one of the least mentioned Titanic, like the least well-known or the most unknown. I forget that. I'll have to figure out the wording, but yeah, a Titanic officer who people know the least about. How about that? Great. Okay, we got that one. Thank you for the 5, Taylor. 10 from Kaser. Kaser Ray. 10, thank you. There should be a search of the SS Naronic, considering how probable her fate was, echoes the... There should be a search of the SS Naronic, considering how probable her fate echoes the Titanic's, only unable to call for help. What are your thoughts on finding her? I'm actually not familiar with this ship, the SS Naronic. Hang on a second. I know I've heard the name before, but I need to do a Google to see what ship this is. Give me just a second here. Copy and paste. Bada bing, bada boom. The SS Naronic. SS Naronic was a British cargo steamship built in 1892 by Belfast. So what ended up happening to her? Let's see. Fate disappeared after the 11th of February, 1893. So she disappeared. Okay, I'm gonna have to research this a little bit because honestly, I've never heard of this ship, and there's a huge article here on Wikipedia about it. So I'm gonna have to research it a little bit more, Kaser. But thank you so much for the 10, and I will get back to you on it. Thank you. Kasi 5, thank you. You finally used my thumbnail. Yeah, so the thumbnail for this live stream that you saw, it was designed by Kasi. Thank you so much, Kasi. By the way, you should join us on Sea of Thieves tonight. I will definitely be on Sea of Thieves tonight. I was busy over the weekend, but I'm home tonight. and I don't have to go to work till later tomorrow afternoon. So I will be up a little bit later tonight. So we will rock some Sea of Thieves. If anybody wants to join our pirate crew, please join the Historic Travels Discord, and we will love to have you as we sail the Sea of Thieves and fight alongside Captain Jack Sparrow. Let's see here. 5 from I guess I'll be Olivia. Thank you so much for the family. Just so everyone knows, I'm just messing around with Sam. I hope Sam considers me a friend. Okay. I hope Sam considers me a friend and knows I'm not really going to take over his story tells. Yes, Olivia is just messing, guys. Olivia's just messing. For those of you who are new here, Olivia, she's our jokester. You know, she likes to pull all the jokes. Olivia, thank you for the 5. I know you're a friend, and everybody here knows you too. So thank you so much for being here. Oh, was it 64 lifeboats? Oh, 64. I feel like I heard that too. 64. But I Googled it and said 40. But okay, 64. All right, thanks, guys. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. 48, 64. Okay, so it was 64 boats. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Black November 8, thank you so much. Have you been in the life-size replica of the Grand Staircase? I have twice. A few times. They had one at the Titanic Museum in Orlando that I visited. I just couldn't take any pictures of it. And I think the one that impressed me the most was the one at the Titanic Museum in Pigeon Forge, the Tennessee, where they rebuilt the front half of the ship. That was my favorite one to date. Black November, thank you for the 8. It's super cool. Britannica is the lifeboat queen. That's hilarious. Let's see here. Happy recovery. This shows how far behind I am. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying to read these as fast as I can. We got that one. Sorry, guys. These super chats, like sometimes there goes a period between super chats, and then I get way behind. I'm covered in news 5. Thank you so much, my friend. James Cameron did the lifeboat experiment in Titanic 20 years later. It was 20 to 30 minutes to launch a boat. Launch a lifeboat, 10 minutes just to set up to load. Yeah, I saw that. And I mentioned that in one of my early videos where I talk about would more lifeboats have saved more people, and I say it's complicated. It takes a long time to launch those lifeboats and to do it right and everything and to get people to get into those boats and all that stuff. Honestly, I think the Titanic's officers, given their current situation and how little training they had on everything and what they were dealing with, I think that they did what I would consider to be the near impossible of getting 18 to 20 of those boats away. And think about this. When they were first starting to prep the lifeboats and get them ready, all the steam was venting out of the Titanic's funnels. So while they're there trying to get the boats ready and coordinate with everybody, they have to scream at the top of their lungs while having their mouths covered like this just to have a guy right beside them hear them. The fact that they were able to do that at all, honestly, they should be commended as far as I'm concerned. They did what I would consider to be the near impossible by launching 18 of those 20 boats. Honestly, it's the truth. I think they did a very good job given the horrible circumstances that they were in. Thank you for the 5 uncover. Let's see, Michael 5. Thank you so much. Why did Lightoller and Murdoch take the charge of most? Why did Lightoller and Murdoch take charge the most when Wilde was the chief officer? You know something? That is a very good question. I know that Lightoller was put in charge of the Titanic's port side and Murdoch was put in charge of the starboard side. So you know what I bet? This is just a guess here, so don't quote me on this, but I'll bet Chief Officer Henry Wilde just kind of oversaw both decks. I'll bet he went back and forth and helped out a bit here and there. That's just my guess. Don't quote me on that. But I bet where Murdoch was in charge of the starboard and Murdoch was in charge of the port, they were more involved with the boats on their side, so they became more famous than Henry Wilde. That's just my guess. And it makes sense given the circumstances. Like if I was like the chief officer and I was in charge of everybody and just trying to figure everything out, I would go back and forth just to make sure everything was okay. So, that's my guess. Thank you for the 5. I need to look into that. Mooch 5, thank you. Look at the ships dead at the bow near the top. Look at the ships dead on at the bow near the top, but not actually on the deck is a circle, which looks like a hole. Was this an error? Look at the ship dead on the bow. Okay. Hang on. Okay, I'm looking at, all right, look at the ship head on, okay, at the bow, near the top, but not actually on the deck. There is a circle, which looks like a hole. Was that an air vent? Huh? Well, I'm just looking at my model, so I'm not, I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. If you're talking about on my model, the little hole right there at the top, this is where the mast used to be, but it came off. I really have no idea what you're talking about. I really don't. Wait a minute. Are you talking about this? Are you talking about that right there? That little tiny thing at the very, very tip? Is that what you're talking about? I have no idea. Is that what you're talking about, Mooch? Thank you for the 5. Let's see here. Jason, 5. Thank you. Sam, I think Mooch is talking about the hull at the very front of Titanic. I think that is the very forward anchor port. So I'm assuming that he's talking like, though they're the anchors right here. But if they're talking about, hang on a second. Let me look here. Let me Google it. Let me see if I can see what you're talking about. Let's see, Titanic. Let me see if I can find a front-facing image of Titanic that I can see what he's. Is it an anchor port or? Hang on, these pictures are small. Let me see here. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, I see what you're talking about now. I actually never noticed that before. Would that be for the Would that be for the anchor for the Titanic for the mid anchor? Is that what that would be for? Like the anchor that was at the shoot, hang on a second. The anchor that was located at the very, very front of the ship. Wouldn't that be what that would be for right there? I never noticed that before. Huh. I'm guessing that it's for the front anchor. Am I right about that? I really don't know, but I'm assuming that that's what it is because the front that mid anchor is right there. Am I right? I'm guessing that's what that is. It was for the anchor, for that mid anchor. I really never even thought about that before, but very, very interesting. You guys taught me something new. I honestly never thought about that. Jason, yes. Okay, cool. I learned something. I honestly never even thought about that. And I remember thinking that, like I would look at the bow of the Titanic and see that anchor in the middle. I'm like, how would that anchor get down? Like, how would they lower that anchor off of the ship? I never even thought about that hole in the bow of the ship. I never thought about that. Huh, super cool. I just learned something new. Learned something. Mooch, you taught me something. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. I seriously never even thought about that until this very moment. That'd be a good video. That would be a very good video. Jason, thank you for the 5. Mooch, thank you so much. I'm glad I was able to clarify that. And hey, your question taught me something. So thanks so much, Mooch. Hannah, 10, thank you so much. Hey, Sam, sorry I missed the last live stream. Have you heard of the documentary Titanic, The Shocking Truth? The whole thing is about the switch theory and people believing it was annoying. Yes, Hannah, I know about it. And it is just like all those other stupid documentaries. How do you sell a good lie? You mix in elements of truth with complete lies. I mean, you tell part of the truth to sell your lie. And that's what all that stuff does. That's what all those documentaries do. And unless you're really into Titanic or you're familiar with that whole era of ships and stuff like that, then yeah, you would believe it. It's just like the whole thing where Jack Phillips told the Californian to shut up, I'm working, don't bug me. According to some documentaries, Jack Phillips said that to the Californian because the Titanic was unsinkable and he couldn't be bothered with ice warnings, which in truth, the Titanic was never called unsinkable. Jack Phillips was operating on nearly a day without sleep. He'd been awake like 26 hours, I think, up to that point. And he got blasted with a loud ring in his ear and he got irritated and had a moment of rage. It wasn't the right thing to do. Don't take that out of context. But all I'm saying is I know why it happened. And it definitely wasn't because he thought the Titanic was unsinkable and that wasn't worth his time, that ice warning. He was in a bad mood. He got a loud blast in his ear and yeah. But yeah, I hate those documents. Coal fire, switch theory, V-break, whatever. I mean, it's all blah, 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 blah. You get my point. Hannah, thank you for the 10. Super appreciate you. Britannia, 5. Thank you. Funny Face, 10. Hi, Sam. New viewer here. Awesome. Welcome to the stream. Everybody say welcome to Funny. Welcome, Funny Face. I like your name. Welcome to Historic Travels. Well, everybody wish Funny Face a welcome. Welcome to, I'm going to send you a message to Historic Travels channel. Welcome. Glad to have you. Everybody say welcome to Funny Face. Hi, Sam. New viewer here. Both my husband and I enjoy your channel. Awesome. Here's my question. Was the wreckage of the Titanic ever officially blessed or concentrated resting place for the victims? Was it ever blessed? I don't believe so. I don't think that, I know they've laid reefs and stuff like that. And when Robert Ballard found the Titanic, they did like a little ceremony at the surface. But I don't think that anybody's ever dived down there and done anything official at the wreck. Like nothing like that. Although one unsettling thing that I don't like is, look, if you're going to dive the Titanic, and I'm okay with people like diving the ship and looking at it and everything, as long as they treat the wreck with respect. But I don't like it that I don't like it if they don't treat it with respect. I don't like that. There was a couple a few years ago and I heard about it and they got in a sub and got married at the wreck of the Titanic. And I'm like, you're getting married at a tomb. You know, like, I mean, like, I don't think that's the right place for that, you know, and that's the kind of stuff I don't like. You know, if you're going to visit Titanic, treat it with respect, you know, or treat it like, you know, people died here. You know, this is the story of a great tragedy. And if you're going to go there, don't make it touristy. Does that make sense? Does that, because I like, am I making sense here? Because I don't think that was right for somebody to get married there, but anyway, I hope I'm making sense here. Maritime history, I heard that too. Yeah, like a couple got in a sub and went down and got like, really? Got married at a tomb? That's not, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But yeah, so if you're gonna dive it, treat it with respect, but I don't think they ever did an official blessing or anything like that. But thank you so much for the who was that again? Sorry, I'm already behind in the super chats. Thank you for the 10, Funny. Super appreciate you. Let's see, Titanic 2010, 2, thank you. Hello, how are you, Sam? I'm back. Welcome back. I'm good. How are you? Thank you for 2. Taylor 5. Irony is the Nazi Titanic movie was trying to bash the British, yet in the movie, they depict the evacuation going smoothly, unlike the real sinking. Really? So I mean, I get it was a Nazi propaganda film, but they depicted the evacuation going smoothly? Really? I've never watched the movie, and I really don't have a desire to, so, but really? Interesting. Taylor, thank you for 5, Taylor. I still can't believe the Nazis actually made a propaganda film around the Titanic. That's absolutely insane to me. Void 5, thank you so much. Rumor has it, if Murdoch didn't second guess his decision to go normal speed, wait. All right. Rumor has it, if Murdoch didn't second guess his decision to go normal speed when turning, then to slow down to turn, they would have avoided hitting the berg. No, I don't agree with that because as soon as, so believe it or not, due to the cold water mirage effect that was going on that night, it's believed that Murdoch probably saw the berg before Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee did in the Crow's Nest. And Murdoch ordered the ship to turn hard to starboard, which means due to tiller commands means turn to port. And when he did that, he also ordered the engines to stop. But the thing is, it takes engines on steamships longer to stop than an engine on a traditional ship. You know, it's not like they can flip a switch and stop an engine. You know, these had to slowly wind down. So when Murdoch ordered the Titanic's engines to stop, they were still slowing down at the time that the ship began to turn. So the Titanic was already in full-on turn, like it was already turning by the time that the engines would have slowed down enough to even affect the turning. And then, and here's another way you can look at this. So pretend my hand's the iceberg. So when the Titanic hit the berg on the starboard side and the bow cleared it sort of, and the iceberg began grazing along the hull, once the Titanic cleared it, the stern of the Titanic was still heading for a direct impact due to the Titanic's size. So once the ship cleared the berg, Murdoch yelled, "Hard to port." And so they were going to turn the Titanic to starboard to keep the stern from hitting the iceberg. So think of it like, how am I going to do this? So iceberg, ship, dodge, and then they had to turn this way to go around the berg. If they would have just kept going and going, the Titanic would have hit the berg at the stern. So due to the fact that the engines were already slowed down quite significantly by the time that the ship barely missed the berg, the ship was able to turn quick enough to avoid the iceberg hitting the stern. So no, I don't think that with the amount of time they had, there would have been enough time for the engines and the steering to really disrupt the turning of the ship. Does that make sense? I know my grammar wasn't 100% right there, but you get my point, Boyd. Thank you for the 5. Let's see here. Love Monkey 10. Thank you so much. On the front part of the Titanic, there is a circular place. I read once that it was for ventilation. Was it? Was that what it was for? I thought after talking to everybody, like, and seeing the hole, like, there's that anchor right here at the very, very front. I was thinking that was how it dropped down, was via this front part. But honestly, I don't know. I have never thought about that till this very moment. Love Monkey, thank you for the 10. Tangled 10, thank you. You are definitely the emperor. Their ship. Hypothetical question: if it is impossible, okay. Even if it is impossible, what if the actual Titanic sailed into modern New York City, like Snatched from Time? So wait, you're saying what would happen if the Titanic like somehow teleported to New York City or whatever? Like, let's say some kind of time anomaly happened or something. I guess it'd be kind of like Ghostbusters 2, where they're like, the Titanic's here. Like, I guess it'd be something like that. Everybody'd be like staring at it like, what? Like, I think that would be it. Or people would be suspicious, like, okay, who rebuilt the Titanic? I think it'd be something like that. Tangle, thank you for the 10. Moose 2, you're welcome. I also learned something. Thanks so much, man. Okay, we got that one. Bodie McBoatface. Oh boy. Hi, Olivia. Hey, Sam. I watched a documentary where they believe that the Titanic didn't split until it was already underwater and in a free fall. Opinion? Don't agree with it. I know what you're talking about, and it was a documentary where they were talking about the breakup. Too many people saw the breakup. Too many people saw it, and then the way that the debris is scattered all around on the seafloor, like it doesn't make sense, because everything's so spread out and wide around and everything. And some of the debris only makes sense, like the locations of the debris on the seafloor. It only makes sense that it's at that position due to how the stern was kind of like, I don't have a model of stern, but just like it just only makes sense because the stern did this weird spiral thing as it was heading for the bottom. So that means that a lot of fragments got flung off, like the double bottom piece, So the stuff that came from the ship would be in different locations if it broke up closer to the bottom. And too many people said they saw it break, so I don't agree with that at all. That's another one of those guys just trying to say, hey, I did something new about Titanic. Let's just like that. That's my opinion of that. Taylor 5, thank you. If I remember correctly, the whole switch theory got started by a drunk who wanted people to buy him free drinks in the 1960s. Seriously? I've heard stranger things. But hey, thank you for the 5, Taylor. Got that one, got that one. Sorry, guys, I'm still behind. Okay, there we go. We're catching up. Got that one. Taylor 5 again. I can't really blame Philip for getting mad. I've run on no sleep before, and just the tiniest thing can set me off in that condition. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it was the wrong thing for Phillips to do, but I mean, how would you all feel if you're operating on 26 hours of no sleep? You've got a headset on, you're trying to work, and all of a sudden you get a loud zap in your ear from a very loud like ring. I mean, honestly, how many of us can say we wouldn't react like that? You know what I mean? It's just in the heat of the moment, you're angry, you react, I mean, we've all been there. So Dylan 5, thank you. Sorry, I need a drink. If you could travel back in time, how would you convince the crew of the Titanic they had to watch out for icebergs without being called insane? If I could travel back in time, how would I? You know what I would do? I would go up on the Titanic's deck, because what was the big reason why the Titanic was going so fast that night? It's because they were under the Titanic's crew didn't realize that they were in a weird mirage effect. From the Titanic crew's perspective, it looked like they had clear seas and perfect weather, and they could see for miles around. Like they thought that they would be able to see any berg or anything as it was slowly approaching. They didn't think that an iceberg would appear just 30 seconds ahead of Titanic, So what I would do is I would go, I would try to get up like to the tip of the bow or on the Titanic's bridge or whatever, and look out and go, do you guys see that? There's like a mirage, or there's some kind of weird, there's a false horizon. There's some kind of weird weather anomaly going on here. Do you guys see that? And then I would probably go up there and do this at like maybe 11:20. If I knew what was going to happen. I think that's what I would do. I think that'd be a good way to let them know about something without them going, you're insane, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, 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 blah. What do you think of that, Dylan? Let's see here. Britannia 5015, thank you. As an amateur radio operator, I am glad to see Jack Phillips and Harold Brad mentioned as heroes. And I have had an issue with the loud signal too. That's awesome. I've always wanted to learn how to operate a ham radio. I know that I tried one once when I was a kid. I was in Cub Scouts. It's just like a club. It's like nature and stuff. I was in that here in the States. And for when I was like 10 or 11, somebody brought a ham radio. And they hooked it up, and I got to talk to somebody through it. And I started talking to some guy who lived in Africa. And I remember that blew my 10-year-old mind. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? And he's like, Sam, you're talking to a guy who lives in Africa. I'm like, I'm talking to somebody in Africa? Like that blew my mind so much. Like I thought that was just the coolest thing ever. And it wasn't too much longer after that I went to my buddy's house and I saw him playing a computer game, and he was playing some World War II shooting game. And I'm like, dude, like, this is super cool. What is this? And he said, so this is a brand new shooting game called Call of Duty. Yes, guys, I was around when the very first Call of Duty came out. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Look, the graphics are awesome. Oh, and he goes, Sam, guess what? I'm like, what? Do you see all these other characters on the screen? I'm like, yeah. Those are other people. I'm like, those are other people? He's like, yes, this is online. This is online. Like that blew my mind. That was the first online game I ever played. Like just the fact that I could play on a computer game and like play with other people all around the world, that just blew my mind. I thought that was so cool. At the time, my parents still had dial-up internet, so that should tell you that. But yeah, that's awesome, Tanya. Thank you for the 5. Taylor 5, thank you. The reason the Nazis made the movie was at the time they were about to try and invade Britain, and they wanted to turn people's opinion against them. Okay, yeah, well, I figured that. You know, anytime you do a propaganda film like that and everything, and yeah, I figured that was the whole point of the movie, was to make the British people look bad. Yeah, I figured there'd be something like that. Taylor, thank you for the 5. You know what still surprised me the most about the Nazi Titanic movie is that A Night to Remember used clips from it. I still need to look into that. I cannot believe that A Night to Remember pulled clips from that horrible propaganda film for one of the most historically accurate Titanic films ever. I can't believe that I can't believe that A Night to Remember did that. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Thank you for the 5, Taylor. Let's see, Bodie McBoatface, a.k.a. Olivia. What would happen if the Titanic hit the berg, breached 4 front compartments, and then hit the stern and damaged 1 compartment in the props? You know what? That's a tough one. She'd still sink. She would sink. So what I think, if she hit the berg, let's start with that. So the bow would start to sink so far. And then as the ship started to stabilize, well, the ship wouldn't sink down low enough to pull the damaged parts at the stern out of the water. So I'm just hypothesizing here. So here's what I think would happen. I think the Titanic's bow would go down. And then as the water reached the top of the 4 bulkheads, the ship could stabilize. But then because the bow went down so far, the water would get into the stern. That would probably bring the stern down a little bit. Would it be enough for the water to spill over? You know what I think would happen? I think, and this is just a guess here, I think the bow would go down, would flood, the stern would come down, and due to the weight of the engines and everything, the Titanic's center mass, I think the Titanic as a whole, so the entire ship, I think the entire ship would drop down just enough, like sink down pretty evenly, just enough to allow the water to spill over the tops of the bulkheads. That's what I think. And then once that happens, so bow goes down, stern floods, that compartment brings the stern down just a little bit. As a result, the entire amount of Titanic drops down a little bit. Then that allows the water to spill over tops of the bulkheads, and the Titanic would sink like that. That's my best guess. That's my best guess for that situation. Great question. Night Shift 5, thank you. You used to have background music in your videos. What was the name of your background music, and where did you find it? I still have background music in my videos. It's just very, very low. I have it very low. But what was it? I know the background music that I currently use is called Flourishing Views. If you're talking about my old ones, I think it was Waiting Down the Line. But yeah, all my videos have background music. I have it really, really turned down, but it is there. Thank you for the 5, Night Shift. But yeah, Waiting Down the Line, I think it was, and I got it off of Epidemic Sounds. You pay Epidemic Sounds like $15 a month, and then you get you can use all the music on their site royalty free. Like you don't have to worry about copyright and all that other stuff. Which honestly, for a YouTuber, Epidemic Sounds is kind of a must. So. Okay, we got that one. Edward 10, thank you. I wrote a whole research paper over the Nazi Titanic movie. It's true, the movie was meant to make the British look bad, but the story weirdly made them look good with the evacuation. Very inaccurate. So the movie was meant to make the British look bad, but the story weirdly made them look good with the evacuation. So like in the Nazi Titanic film, the evacuation looked very orderly and professional. That's what they did in that movie, really? That's really strange. You know, you would think that it being like a Nazi propaganda film, they would try to make the British look as bad as possible. That's interesting. That's very weird. Edward, thank you for the 10. Hang on a second, guys. It's a little warm in here. I want to turn on the air conditioning. Just a second. Also need to shut my curtains. I'm on my way back. All right. I'm back. Okay, here. Titanic 2010, welcome. Thank you for the 5. Hello, Sam. I got a question. Have you ever been rickrolled? Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. So, Titanic 2010, I do have a story for you. So one of my first jobs, okay, when I was in high school, I worked at GameStop for like 3 months. It was terrible. I hated it. But anyway, so it was my first day and I was there. And my manager told me, okay, Sam, so there's a thing going on right now where people like to call in and ask for this joke game. And if they call in and do that and say that, I want you to Rick roll them. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, if you want to sing the Rick roll song. I'm like, oh, okay. If that ever happens, and this is like my first day, okay? So then right after my manager tells me that, the phone rings. He says, okay, Sam, so go ahead and pick up the phone and talk to him. I'm like, okay. I pick up the phone. I go, thank you for calling GameStop. This is Sam. How can I help you? And the guy asked me for that joke game. And I just stand there for a moment. I look at the phone. I look up at my manager, and she's staring at me, wondering what I'm doing. And I just sit there and I go, let's see. Never going to give you up. Never going to let you down. Never going to run around and desert you. And then I just hang up on him. And my manager was just staring at me. And I saw her eyes go wide, like, what? and then when I just hung up on him. And I told her what had happened, and she laughed. And then those guys called back like 30 seconds later and said that is like the coolest GameStop employee ever. Like, it was so funny. So it wasn't me getting rickrolled. I rickrolled somebody else for trying to troll me. So how about that? Does that count? Does that count? LOL. Maritime, yes, Sam. LOL. That's an old memory, and I absolutely love it. I can't when did that happen? My junior year of high school. So yeah, over probably 13 years ago. That is crazy. I'm getting old, guys. All right, we got that. We got that one. All right, Zelda 5. Thank you. One last question before I have to go. Have you heard about the debate for how many blades a Titanic central propeller? Have a good night, everybody. Yes, I've heard about it, and people were debating it, but I lean more towards on the whole 3-blade thing, because the Olympic had 3 blades at first, I believe. Then they switched it to 4. I think so. I think the Olympic had 4 blades later, and it had 3 blades at first, I think. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I think the Titanic had 3 blades. That's what I think. Zelda, thank you for the 5. Super appreciate you. I agree with you, Sam. Too much weight. Cool. Okay, we got that one. We got that one. Boating with Boatface, a.k.a. Olivia. How high is the mud around the bow of the Titanic now? Can you see the iceberg damage? On the Titanic's bow, so if you get to the very front of the ship, the Titanic's bow is dug in all the way up to the anchor. So, I mean, like the bow is in like this. So you can't really see any iceberg damage at the bow. However, if you go further back towards right around where the first funnel was, this part of the bottom of the Titanic's hull is exposed. And I've heard that you can see some iceberg damage right around there on the starboard side. So that's what I've heard. I haven't seen it personally, or if I have, I didn't recognize it as iceberg damage due to how long the Titanic's been down there. But yes, you can't see it all, but you can see some of it in Boiler Room 6 area. You can still see it. Okay, we got that. We got that one. I think I saw, was that Maritime? Are you working on the endurance documentary? I do have one part of that done, but I've been really busy with Titanic Week, so I haven't had a chance to start it, but it's coming very soon. I'm definitely going to work on it. And I'm not going to release it in parts. I'm going to release one giant documentary. That's my plan for that. Okay, we got that one. We got that one. Titanic 2010. No! Thank you for the 2. Taylor 5, thank you. You're sent back in time to the USS Californian just before Titanic hits the iceberg. What would you do? Wake up. Like, that's exactly what I would do. Like, if I'm on the deck of the Californian, because that's the thing about the Californian is that they just didn't do enough. They just didn't put 2 and 2 together. And if you're on the deck of the Californian and you see a ship, it's shooting off rockets. I don't care if they're not being shot off at the right rate to mean the international call for distress. If you see a ship shooting off rockets at sea, and I believe one of the Californian's officers even commented on, look at that. It looks like the ship is a little bit, like one side's a little bit lower in the water. Like, I mean, like, wake up the captain, or like, well, they did talk to the captain, but wake up the wireless guy, just see what's going on, just when in doubt, take extra precautions. You know what I mean? Like, the way I usually go about things is I always hope for the best, but I plan for the worst. So if I was on the Californian and I saw a ship, I didn't know what it was, and it looked like let's just say, okay, so let's say that this is the sea, okay? And just pretend that you all are looking at me from the Californian. And you see a Titanic as a very tiny dot, and you see it looks like it's like that, or just, it doesn't look right. You know, just something seems wrong. Wake up the wireless guy. You know, just that's what I say. You know, just when in doubt, take extra precautions. Because that's the only thing the Californian crew are guilty of, in my opinion, is that they just didn't do enough. They didn't take, it's not like they thought, oh, the Titanic is sinking, we're not going to help. They could have tried harder. They could have done a little bit more investigating. Does that make sense? If I was the captain of the Californian, I would say, wake up the wireless guy and see what's going on with that other ship. That's what I would do. Thank you for the 5, Taylor. We got that one. Titanic 2010 5. Lord, never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. All right. Tangle 10. I was referring to you as the Emperor of Ships, since Emperor Tiger Star of Ships, since he is blonde and does maps, and you do crafts. I have no idea who that is, but thank you, I guess. I'll take it as a compliment. Let's see. Have you ever visited Canada? Lusitania class, or let's see, Imperator class or Olympic class? Pick one. Yes, I have visited Canada, but very briefly. I just went across the border at Niagara. That's all I did. So we went to Niagara Falls, went across the border, looked around up there for a little bit. And honestly, from what I saw, I really liked it. I want to go up and like really tour Canada. You know, I want to visit some cities and all that stuff, and you know, just go and sightsee a little bit. But yeah, I liked it. I know the thing that I thought was the one thing about Canada that really caught me off guard, and it's such a small thing. And I guess if you live in Canada, you wouldn't think anything of it. But I know we ran out of milk and we needed milk, so we went by a gas station up there. We went to go and buy milk, and in Canada, like at least the part of Canada where I was at, they were selling milk in like bags. Like they were in like these plastic bags. And here in the States, I don't know if that's all of Canada, but you know, like here in the States, you know, we've got these gallon jugs. So I'm like, this is how I thought that milk was sold everywhere. I didn't know that it was in bags. So like that really, that made me, from what little I saw of Canada, that's like one of the big things that I remember. I'm like, oh, they sell their milk in bags here? That's different. So, but yeah, it was really cool. Canada's cool. I'd like to go back and tour it more. Let's see here. And I'm going to have to say Olympic class, just because, you know, Olympic class is the one that's closest to my heart because of the Titanic stuff. But I do like the Lusitania class ships. I think those are really cool. Thank you for the 10. I hear Rosie. Let's see. Jason 5. Thank you. Rosie. Can you guys see her? there's Rosie. Everybody, can y'all see Rosie? Rosie's drinking some water. Let's see here. Jason 5. Sam, don't forget the anniversary of the Sultana disasters coming up on the 27th of April. Oh, yeah, the South Korean ferry. I forgot about that. Okay, yep, I'll make sure not to forget about that. Thank you so much for reminding me about that, man. Thank you. Got that one. We got that one. We got that. 5 from Edward. Thank you. Also, believe it or not, A Night to Remember did borrow a few clips from the Nazi film. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. There is also a fictional German officer, Peterson, who's the hero in the Nazi Titanic film. Is that what you're talking about? Thank you for the 5, Edward. Okay, here. We got that one. Taylor 5 again. Now I can see Sam breaking into the Marconi room of the Californian, violently waking up Evans, yelling at him to get up there. There's a ship there. Oh, I totally would. I would be just like Harold caught him on the Carpathia, just bang on the door like, hey, wake up. Like, oh, I would totally do that. Taylor, thank you for the 5. Thank you. And I think we're nearly done here. Hang on. We got that one. Yep. All right. We are all caught up, and we are coming up on the 1 hour mark. So do you all know what that means? It is now time for the Q&A for tonight. Are you all ready for the Q&A? Rusty, I would do the same thing, Sam. That's awesome. Let's see. Putting in both places. Olivia, thank you. I am thinking about making a YouTube channel for trucking in the kind of like travel blog and answer some trucking questions. So footage of my driving, maybe raise awareness about the safety of truckers. Olivia, you should do that. Definitely. Like, that's what I always tell people. If you've got like a trade or there's something you're passionate about and everything, definitely do it. Make a channel. Because I mean, you could listen, I really never thought that anything would come from me making videos of the Titanic here on YouTube. I never thought I'd be able to turn that into a job, but it blew up, you know. YouTube allows us to take, you know, our jobs or whatever we're passionate about and turn it into another job. I mean, it's really cool. Olivia, I highly encourage you to do it. Good luck to you. Thank you for 10. Tangle 5. Go pet Rosie for a 5. All right, I'll go pet her. And we got the Stone 5. Thank you. Hoping to go to Halifax for the 150th anniversary of the SS Atlantic next year. There's bound to be something planned. Would I see you there? I'm definitely going to try to make it to the UK. I don't know if I would be able. Oh, no, UK. Halifax, Nova Scotia. Derp. Yeah, Canada. Nova Scotia. Yeah, it would be easier for me to get to Halifax than it would be to get to the UK. Maybe if they're going to do some kind of an event or something, but I'm going to try to get to Halifax hopefully this year. I've got a lot of places I need to go to this year. I've got the UK and I've got Japan. If they ever open that place up, I'll get to Halifax eventually. But yeah, if they do something for the Atlantic, excuse me, I'll definitely try to go. And we got 2 from Mooch. Nearly forgot to mention my birthday is today. Mooch, happy birthday! Everybody in the chat, say happy birthday to Mooch. And yes, I will try to make it up to Halifax if they do it. Everybody say happy birthday to Mooch. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Everybody say happy birthday to Mooch. That's awesome. Mooch, thank you so much, man, for all your support, and thank you for the lamp. Black November 8. Stanley Lord was still alive when A Night to Remember was released, but never saw the film. His son has tried to fight to clear his father's name. I thought he did see it, because wasn't Stanley Lord mad about how he was portrayed in A Night to Remember? I feel like I heard that somewhere, that he was mad about how he was portrayed in A Night to Remember. That's what I feel like. All right, everybody, it is now time for the Q&A. For those of you who are new here and do not know the rules, I ask a question, okay? I have a list here. You will see the word go show up in the chat. You do not answer the question until you see the word go pop up. If you answer it early, I will not answer the question, okay? So that's how we're going to do this here, guys. So, and then I'll also ring the bell and all that too. Whoa. Here come more super chats. All right. Elliot 5, thank you. So Tanya is an American ship. Seoul, the Korean one, but both happened this month. Sultanas and did I get the Sultana and the Seoul mixed up? Did I get those mixed up? Elliot, thank you for the 5. Thank you. Taylor 5, thank you. I'd love to sail on Queen Mary 2, yet I doubt I'll ever get that privilege. So here's 5 to help you on the Queen Mary 2. Taylor, thank you for 5. And hey, if you want to sail on the Queen Mary 2, let's try to do it. Everybody try to sail on her. I would love to sail on the Queen Mary 2 sometime. Thank you for the 5, Taylor. But hey, go for it. If you want to do it, go for it. Mooch 5, thank you. You're welcome. And thanks everyone for wishing a happy birthday. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. All right, here we go. So remember, first question, I do not answer the question until I type the word go, and you'll also hear me ring the bell. So that's how we're going to do this. All right, here we go, guys. And should I disable the slow mode? Yeah, let's do it. All right, slow mode is disabled. Bada bing, bada boom. Changes saved. All right, here we go, everybody. First question of the night, and no spamming, guys. Which of the Titanic's passengers helped his wife get into a lifeboat? However, once she was in the boat, he turned to one of the Titanic's officers and asked him if he could accompany his wife in the boat due to the fact that she was pregnant. Ready, set, go. Who was this passenger? Dust got it. Astor. John Jacob Astor. Man, you guys know it. This is awesome. All of you got that one. I'm giving that to all of you. I'm giving that to Dust was the first one, but I'm giving that to all of you, man. You guys know your stuff. Great job. I am very, very impressed. All right. I've got a hard one here. For you guys. All right. Maritime, are you ready? I think I'm going to get you with this one, Maritime. If you get this one right, I'm going to be very impressed, Maritime. Okay. So are you ready for the challenge? I think, uh-oh. Oh no, Maritime. Oh no. All right, here we go, guys. What year was the very first wireless transmission from using a Marconi system from land to ship achieved? What year was the very first wireless transmission from land to sea using a Marconi system achieved? What year did this happen? Go. What year was the very first transmission? Nope, I don't see it yet. I don't see it. Oh, I think I got you guys. Hang on. Nope. I don't see it. I don't know. Casey's close, but he's too broad. Oh, Waffle got it. Waffles got it. 1899. Waffles got it. 1899 was and it was just a test run. It was a test of new technology, but it was the very first time that a wireless was sent from a land station to a ship. was in the year 1899. Wallace, yeah! Great job. Great job. Great job. Where's maritime? 1899. Now he says it. Yeah. A JG3. Oh, wait, 19 was CQ. That was actually, nope. That's something else. That's something else. I was so close. Hang on. Did I see a 5? I think I saw a 5 super chat. 1 second. Hannah 5. Did you see the trailer for the Titanic 6-6? Don't even talk to me about that. The character is such an offense. Yeah, that stupid movie. Like whenever they do movies like that, I feel like they're taking the Titanic name as a way to try to sell a crappy movie. And in my opinion, that's disrespecting the whole Titanic story. I mean, you're not teaching people anything new about the ship or talking about the people. You're just using the Titanic name to sell a crappy movie. And that's as far as I'm concerned, that's disrespect towards the actual disaster, and everybody who was on board the ship. So I'm very much against it. Bodie McBoatface 5, thank you. You're the best YouTuber I know. Thanks so much, Olivia. I hope we can meet one day. Your videos are great and rewatchable. Thank you, Ray. Olivia, I thought you were being so nice. I thought Rachel is a great YouTuber, though, by the way. Hey, Olivia, thank you. I thought you were being so nice for a second. I was about to say, yeah, I can't wait to meet you too. But then you go and do that. Olivia, in all seriousness, I'd like to meet you too. We will someday. All right, here we go. Maritime, you fell for it. No. I need the Darth Vader sound. No. I need that sound. All right, here we go. Where was I? All right. So the next question, there's 2 parts to it, okay? And to get this question right, you have to answer both parts, all right? So if you say one and not the other, I will not count it, all right? So remember that. How many watertight compartments could be breached in the Titanic's hull for the ship to be able to stay afloat? To get this answer right, you must say how many compartments the Titanic could handle breached at the front and how much damage she could take anywhere else on the hull. So you have to answer the front and how much damage she could take anywhere else. So that's how you have to get this right. Ready, set, and everybody who's answering doesn't count yet. Ready, set, go. How many could she handle? DFG, the first, the first 4 in the front, anywhere else, a max of 2. DFG got it. DFG got it right. Yeah, the first 4 at the front could be breached and any 2 anywhere else. That is absolutely correct. Great job. And how many other people got that? Hang on. There were so many. The first 4 and then 2. King got it 2. Christian 4. Not really 5. If only if the 5th wasn't flooded. 4 and 2. Lieutenant Drake got it. Stone 4 in the front, 2 anywhere else. Maritime 4 in the bow. A lot of people got that right. Richard 3. That's not quite right. But yeah, great job. A lot of you got it right. Great job, guys. Great job, everybody. And no spamming, guys. No spamming. I don't count that. 2 people got timed out for spamming. All right, here we go. This one I'm sure a lot of you are going to get. Let's see here. What was the very first ship in history to send out a CQD distress call using the Marconi wireless system? Ready, set, go. The very ship in history to send out CQD Marconi. What was it? Maritime history, the Republic. Great job. Great job. Maritime got it. Yeah, I see Maritime got it first. We got that one. We got that one. Yep, City Republic. Codename Crazy got it. JG3 got it. A lot of you guys got it. Great job. Great job. But yes, the Republic was the very first ship to send out a CQD distress call using the Marconi wireless system. All right. Okay, wait. Benjamin, come on, Sam. We need some harder questions. Oh, I've got one for you. Benjamin, I've got one for you right here. Wait, Olivia, Sam, I'll buy you a mocha when we meet. And since I have to say something nice, I guess you have nice hair. Olivia's haha, very funny. Very funny. Thank you. Sabrina, hey, hope you're doing well. Your chat is lagging so badly on mine. I'm sorry, Sabrina. There's not really much I can do about that. But hey, Sabrina, tell your kids I said hi to you and your family. All right, so here is the difficult question. Where inside of the Titanic did Thomas Andrews, Captain Smith, and Chief Engineer Bell meet before they began their inspections of the Titanic after the iceberg impact? So more specifically, where did these 3 men meet up before they began to go and look at the iceberg damage? Where did all these men meet? Ready, set, go. It wasn't the mailroom. That wasn't the first place they met. They met somewhere else first. They met somewhere before they went to the mailroom. Not the wheelhouse, the bridge. Nope. 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 Wow. No one got it. I haven't seen it. I haven't found it yet. Hang on. Let me see here. No, not the bridge. Not the reception room. Wasn't the bridge. No. I don't see it. Wow. I don't think anybody got this one. Holy cow. Oh, Mooch got it. The engine room. That's it. Mooch got it first. So Thomas Andrews, after the iceberg impact, it's theorized that he went off on his own. And then Captain Smith followed him down Scotland Road a few minutes later. And then Bell went there. So all three men met up in the engine room. Okay. And then from the engine room, they headed down Scotland Road and they began to make their way towards the front of the ship. But yeah, the engine room is where the engine room is where the men met up first. What? Yeah. Maritime history. That's what they were. That was talked about in the Thomas Andrews documentary that Tom Linsky and the authors of Honesty of Glass did. The three men met up in the engine room before they headed forward. That was a more recent discovery. Wow, I stumped maritime history. Awesome. Great job. Okay, we got that one. Wow, that got you guys on that one. You wanted a hard question, Benjamin. I think I got you. Boating the boat face 5. Thank you so much. Was it called the elevator or the lift on the Titanic? I believe they called them elevators. I'm sure that some of the British passengers and all that called them lifts. But if you go to the wreck and you look at the elevators, you can see the word elevator printed on the call button. The word elevator is right there. And I guess that was because Titanic was owned by an American company, IMM, Internet Maritime Marine. Yeah, IMM. So I guess that's why. But yeah, no, written on the elevators inside the Titanic, it says elevator. But yes, but the passengers call it a lift. Is that how that worked? Cool. All right, next question of the night. Once first-class passengers boarded the Titanic, what was one of the very first rooms that these passengers would walk into once they boarded the ship? Once the first-class passengers boarded the Titanic, what was one of the very first rooms that these passengers would walk into once they boarded the ship? Ready, set, go. What was the first room that most of these people would walk into when they boarded the ship? Maritime got the reception room. Great job. Wedding is kind of right, but that's not what the room was called. Reception room, D-deck reception. Dust got it. Maritime code name. Jacqueline, JG3. I guess Sam 2.0 got it. He misspelled it. Let's see. Will got it. Everybody got it. Everybody got that one. Great job, guys. You guys know your stuff. Great job. I'm impressed. Taylor 5, thank you. Reason I don't think I'll ever sell Queen Mary 2 is because at this point I wouldn't be able to afford it. Oh, I'm sorry, Taylor. Taylor, just save up for it, Honestly, I've looked at the Queen Mary 2 voyages and they're not crazy expensive. They're no more expensive than most cruises, So, I mean, listen, you can achieve anything. I think anybody can do anything, And I think that'd definitely be something that's worth the experience. Like the way I do my vacations, and here's something that maybe a tip to help you. I plan my vacation probably a year out. Then I make payments as I go because, they only require a small amount for a deposit and then you can just make payments. That's what I would do. All right, we got that one. But Taylor, you'll get there. Have faith. We're good. All right. There is a famous photo of the Wright brothers airplane when they were showing it off at the Hudson Fulton celebration in New York City in 1909. In that photo, you can see a famous ocean liner behind the airplane in the background. What ship is visible in this photograph? Ready, set, go. What ship is visible in that famous Wright brothers photo of the airplane? Elucidating maritime history, got it. Whoa, all of you. Holy cow, that was so fast. Holy cow. I didn't even know that there was a photo. That's funny, Zena. Man, you guys, the chat just exploded. Oh my gosh. Maritime Casey. Oh my gosh. No, it wasn't Olympic. Christian. Just the chat just went nuts right there. That was insane. All of you. I'm going to give that one to all of you. Okay, you all just got that one. I'm giving that one to all of you. Good job, guys. I thought I had you guys on that one. All right, another hard one, guys. What ship was closer to the Titanic than the Carpathia on the night of the sinking and tried to reach the ship? However, they ended up having to stop due to being trapped by an ice field. So what ship was closer to the Titanic than the Carpathia? And they were trying to reach Titanic, but they had to stop due to an ice field. Ready, set, go. What ship was this? Wasn't Frankfurt. That was what I was looking for. Christopher, Mount Temple, the Mount Temple. Great show. Holy cow, you guys know your stuff. Holy cow. You guys know your stuff. Mount Temple was what I was looking for. Great job. DFG, Christopher, Dust, Maritime, the chef. That wasn't Britannic. Britannic wasn't done yet. Dominic. A lot of you guys got it. So great job, guys. Great job, guys. Great job. Great job, guys. All right. Question 9. We've got two more questions, guys. Question 9. Before the Titanic hit the iceberg, the ship had a tiny list to port. Why did the ship have this slight port list? Before the Titanic hit the iceberg, why did the Titanic have a very short list to port? Ready, set, go. Why did the Titanic have this port list? Let's see here. Boom. Coal. Whoa. Let's see. And coal, maritime coal fire. Good job. But now, why more specifically? So everybody is saying coal fire, but there's a more specific answer. Why was this? Oh, Nate got it. The coal was moved to port. Good job. All right, so I'm going to give coal fire parts to maritime and all that stuff, but I'm also going to give this question to Nate because he said the coal was moved to port. Good job. All right, and let's follow up on this. How many tons of coal was moved from the starboard side to the port side as a result of the coal fire? How many tons of coal was moved from starboard to port to cause the Titanic to have a very, very slight list to port? How many tons? Ready, set, go. How many tons was that? Codename Crazy, 300. Great, 300 tons. A lot of people got it. A lot of people got it. 300. Yeah, a lot of people. Whoa, we're getting super chats now. Yeah, 300 tons. That's exactly right. Good job. Hey, let me look at these super chats, guys. And I got one more question. Let's see here. But Olivia, here's something to think about. Britannica is the only Olympic sister ship you can go to without a deep sea sub. Would you dive it? Absolutely, I would love to. I would love to see the Britannic someday, Olivia. Thank you for the 5. Mary 5. I'm hoping to do a repositioning cruise on the Queen Mary 2 in the next few years. Sam, you're welcome to come along. Mary, please help me out. Please help me out with a ticket. I would love that. If you work on the ship and you can get me free passage, I would love that, Mary. Thank you so much for the 5, Mary. Super appreciate you. You know, that'd be really cool. Have like a historic travels meetup on the Queen Mary 2. That'd be so cool. All right. We got one last question for the night. Oh, wait, there was another one. Let's see here. Oh, Influenza 2. Have you seen the movie This Boot? No, I have not seen that movie, Influenza. I don't even know what that is. Thank you for the 2. All right, last question of the night. What was the exact number of lifeboats on board the Titanic? Note, you have to elaborate between the regular lifeboats and the collapsible boats. So in order to get this answer right, I need to know how many regular lifeboats were on the Titanic and how many collapsible boats were on the ship. You have to say both of those. Ready, set, go. How many regular lifeboats and how many collapsibles? You have to say the difference. Maritime, 16 and 4. Good, all right, 16 regular and 4. Codename Crazy, 20, 16 and 4. Stones, 24, 16 normal. A lot of people got it. Great job, guys. A lot of you got that one. Wow. Holy cow. Listen, you guys know your Titanic stuff. I am super impressed. I am super impressed. All right, everybody. So that's it for the Q&A for tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the live stream. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up now. Hang on. Did you guys want to see Rosie before I sign off? Oh, as soon as I say that, Duncan, give us Rosie. Let me see what she's doing. Give me 2 seconds. Be right back. Be right back. Let me see what she's doing. Rosie, your fans want to see you. Rosie, your fans want to see you. I took her for a walk right before the live stream, and she is passed out. Rosie, your fans are calling. And there's Rosie. Rosie, what are you doing? Rosie. All right, Rosie. Like my blanket fell to the floor and she's resting her head on it. Ever since I bought this rug, she is just, Rosie, you are such a mess. You know that? You know you're such a mess. But you're my doggy. I love you. Rosie, you are spoiled rotten. You know that? That's my puppy. A 90-pound puppy. Can you call that a puppy? Oh, she's my baby. She is my baby. We love Rosie. All right, everybody. Oh, hang on. We got another super chat from Mooch. 5, thank you. Would it be fair to say Rosie is the star of the show? Yes, Rosie is the star. Rosie is the star of the show. All right, everybody. Well, hey, I think this is a good place to wrap up the live stream for tonight. So, everybody, hey, thank you all so much for tuning in. This was an awesome live stream. Everybody did regular chat. Thank you. Everybody did super chats. Thank you. And I will try to have the last and final episode of the Jack Phillips and Harold Brad story up very soon. So, stand by for that. And everybody, look, just thank you all so much for all your support. I really could not do this without the support of each and every one of you. So, guys, thank you all so much. Oh, and hey, by the way, guys, there may be something different about next week's live stream. I'm not going to promise anything yet, but I'm working on changing something for next week's live stream, and I think you all will like it if I get everything to work out right. So I will see you all next Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Hope you all have a great week, and I will see you then. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in.